You're gonna want to hear this. The following is guaranteed to knock your ears right off. Not intended for the faint of heart.
All right, and we're on. This is Lounge Around Podcast with your host, Liam Saranich. How you guys doing tonight?
Great, how are you?
Great, man.
Great.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Kiskin's not here tonight. If anyone knows Kiskin's listened to the show before, Kiskin's sick. Kiskin's very ill. Yeah.
Okay.
Funny guy. I know you're supposed to meet him.
Indeed.
I know.
In due time, definitely speaking of speedy recovery over to him.
Savannah's met him. What would you say he's like from your experience?
There's like
One of a kind.
it's just him.
okay.
There's no other way to describe him.
Yeah. He's
funny.
yeah.
Very funny.
feral.
That's important.
I would say feral for sure. He's definitely not all there sometimes.
Missing his crew. Poor guy.
He's not here to defend himself.
He's
So
definitely not.
yeah.
Okay.
But it's great.
Missing his crew.
But tonight on the show, it's your host Liam Saranich. But I have special guests tonight. Savannah's here. I've known Savannah for 2 years now.
Yeah, 2.
And then we have Daryle. I can't pronounce your last name.
Bodrick.
Yes,
sir.
I met Daryle. We met at a public speaking thing at Wesleyan University.
Indeed.
Did we not? Yeah.
And this is, so you say 2 years, and it's probably 2 weeks.
Yeah. So
man.
me and Daryle got a bond
Unbreakable.
like glue.
Indeed.
So just get ready because you have no clue this bond, Savannah.
It goes deep.
We've been texting back and forth, right?
Yeah.
Totally.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And it's
What
like
time, where you at, address.
Yeah. Exactly. Send me your ad.
Right. That's it, man.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely thankful for the invitation and extending your ministry, what you do, how
Mm-hmm.
you serve the campus and Connecticut area, and essentially the world, because I just was sending it out to my family
Yeah.
down in North Carolina and Virginia. So definitely thankful to be here, share the energy, share the space, and
Yeah.
see what all we can cultivate, man.
Awesome. But you're a student at UConn
Yes, sir.
right now, and what are you studying right now?
Public policy.
Public
I'm currently
policy.
getting my master's. Just moved up here after I graduated undergrad down in Atlanta. And so this has been my new life, So I've been trying to make family, make community, and foster that. And so, of course, any extension of an opportunity like this definitely was thankful for. So,
Yeah.
yeah, man.
And what do you want to do with that exactly afterwards?
That's a big question.
We are hitting all the hard questions
clearly,
tonight.
straight out the bat.
we,
Man.
we got to make sure we can figure you out.
Yeah, I appreciate it because that's going to help me.
Yeah.
So my undergrad's in finance. I went to Morehouse. Definitely culturally was the biggest shock coming up here, which I know we had talked about. I don't want to spoil what the conversation is going to be. But,
Yeah.
so that was a big adjustment for me, and also not really knowing anybody up here. I definitely had a family friend and someone who went to school with me down there who transitioned, but she's originally from here. And then I met actually 2 brothers who went to Morehouse as well.
Yeah.
When I moved up here, real spontaneously, in a grocery store or something like that. But
Yeah.
so it was but the whole goal was, how can I marry wealth management with public good? And that's where public policy kind of came in a way. And honestly, man, the world, it's I'm really learning life. I've been listening to life. That's what I've been saying lately, because it seems like everything that happens is not by happenstance. And although route may be circuitous, but it's always circular. It'll always come back in the end. So actually, I came up to Connecticut. I was originally working with Lockheed and Sikorsky in Stratford, and I had applied for a fellowship at Harvard. Around the same time, I got accepted into Lockheed. I got the job, accepted in Connecticut around December 2022. I didn't get the nod from Harvard until April 2023. And so by that time, I had already declared Connecticut was it.
Yeah.
But upon the
And we're glad you're here.
I appreciate it. I'm thankful.
Hey,
Obviously,
listen,
this
I know, a little bit. I get it.
Yeah.
Like Harvard, Connecticut, but
man, we're right here. We're
but hey,
neighbors.
we're here.
You know?
And without being here, you've never met Professor Booker.
That's it.
You've never been at Wesleyan.
Come on now.
You never done a lot of that stuff.
And I would not be lounging around.
You wouldn't be lounging around.
At the end of the day.
And that's the show.
Thank you, guys.
And good night. No, but
So yeah, man. So it's just that was what kind of brought me up here. They recommended a master's. UConn came into play, And I honestly had deferred the dream of
Mm-hmm.
the PhD and the fellowship. Honestly, it was
Mm-hmm.
now it's just time to get into the work field, and see what all I could do in that end and get back to like I still want to marry public good and wealth management and finance and social society in some fashion. So I'm currently getting my certification in social responsibility and impact in business. So how do we get corporations and communities to come together with a model that's fruitful for the corporation? They don't feel like they're just philanthropic efforts, just throwing out money, but you can show like with the money you still can build income and be profitable. So yeah, man. So and then on the outside of this, we had speaking engagements. We just name drop Professor upcoming Dr. Booker. This man has 6 degrees. 6 degrees.
I know. Professor Booker, soon to be Dr. Booker.
Indeed.
And shout out to my father who just became a doctor. Actually, last week.
Come on, now.
Last week.
Congratulations.
Dr. Saranich, the first doctor in the entire family.
Wow.
So
very nice.
good for him.
Okay.
Man has the same problems I had. He had learning disability and all that stuff.
Mm.
Now he's a doctor. So look
Good
at
for
him.
him.
Yeah.
No limits.
And Dad, I'm never gonna reach that level, but but we're here. Like, this is as good as it gets for me.
Yo, you have many more bounds.
Yeah. He listens to this show and he's gonna be like, oh, we'll see.
Right. Yeah, you got something coming for you.
Yeah.
No doubt about it.
He's like, you're gonna get your bachelor's. I'm like, yeah. He's like, you're gonna go for your master's. Like, no. He's like, all right. Yeah. He's like, how long you stay in the house for? I'm like, he's like 2 more years probably, right? Yeah, I'll figure
Count
it
it down on you.
Yeah,
Right?
he's like, we gotta get you out of here.
Makes sense.
But
So, yeah, man, just here now.
Yeah, I'm glad you're here, and we're glad you're here.
Very.
Yeah. Savannah's first time meeting you, and
Yeah.
she's
Very
inspired.
welcoming.
Very. Yeah.
Very welcoming.
But what was I gonna say? We met at Wesleyan University. And we did a public speaking thing with Professor Booker, soon to be Dr. Booker. But Professor Booker's been on the show 3 times, I think, in the past. And he recommended that you came on the show.
He did.
So I'm glad we can get this set up and all that. And I made sure that we did it right then and there, so I didn't forget.
Right.
Because if I didn't do it, I would have.
Pick the date,
I would
time, and all.
have forgotten.
Yeah, that's how it works. That's how it works. Calendars are so appropriate now.
Yeah.
The older you get, the more you realize, like,
Yeah.
you're not going to remember everything.
Yeah, people are like, you had to get that assignment done. I was like, was it in my calendar? They're like, you should have been. I'm like, you're right. But Professor Booker told me to get you on here because I thought we'd talk about some stuff. And we also were talking at Wesleyan. Let's actually talk about Wesleyan.
Okay.
Beautiful campus.
It is.
I think it was a nice campus.
Nice cafeteria.
Yes.
Pool tables.
They had 2 floors to the cafeteria.
Really?
Yeah. No, we had
a room.
Yeah, there was 2 floors to it.
I remember it being 2 floors in there, but you could eat upstairs as well.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's different.
When you were standing with me, there was like 3 different ways you can go down there and eat, and people were eating all. There are different sections for people to go. Yeah.
Okay.
People with red hair in this corner, over here. they separated it like that.
It makes sense.
Yeah. They're like red shirt day over here,
yep.
brown shirts over there.
Makes sense.
Yeah. But
Wild downstairs.
yeah. That's the wild bunch. they keep them down there.
Apparently.
Yeah, here at Hurley we have 1 floor in the basement where the rats fight, and then and then we throw money on there to see who wins.
Okay,
so.
see who wins. Oh, no cheese, none of that.
A lot of cheese is put on that. You kidding me? Right. I lost a few grand. Some would say the cheddar's been lost.
Dang.
So
okay, so y'all cafeteria is not the same. But
no,
it was a nice campus.
No, it was.
What we saw.
Oh yeah.
And it was an excellent event. When Liam came on, did his thing.
Yeah.
Spoke from the heart.
Yeah.
It was very inspiring.
Yeah, I when I do my speeches, which I think is different than how you do your speeches, because you did a lot of poetry.
I did.
And I thought when we did the movie review thing, which we're going to talk about the Dead Poet Society at the end of the show.
Oh, no.
That's the movie we watched. So if you want to watch it and come back to hear a review, you can do that. This is a podcast. You can pause right here. Come back, whatever.
And then you're back.
And then you're back. Hey! But I picked that movie because I thought it would be nice with a lot of poetry stuff in it, and I thought it would connect with you in a lot of that sense too. So I thought it would be good. And also, I didn't realize it was going to connect with you the teaching stuff too, which we'll get into definitely later as well. But I lost my train of thought. You did a poetry thing for your speech, which I thought was amazing.
Thank you.
Very rehearsed, very very touching, I think, to a lot of people.
Yes, sir.
You know, a lot of people were going, when you're in the room. A lot of people were like, yes, sir. Like, everyone was like getting up and clapping. I thought everyone was going to start dancing soon. Like,
no, it was amazing. And I think, like, for me to go first and then you to come in with a more natural and organic perspective, and then being an example of what we're also here to talk about and how you transcend boundaries is it was perfect. And that's what led to where we are here now. Our styles connected. And that was my first time performing poetry.
Really?
I would say period, like where I would say, like, solidify or articulate it as poetry. I've done public speaking, I've done oratory, but not in the sense like where I'm coming out like I'm a poet. And that time gave me confidence where now and of course, thankful to Dr. Booker, has also lined up additional opportunities for me to perform poetry.
Good.
To really hone in on, like, identifying that as my craft. So
good. You should get in contact with Destiny also from there.
Yeah, she did amazing. Shout out to Destiny.
Yeah, Destiny as well. Her mom was on the show 2 weeks ago.
Really? Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was like that next day.
It was like the next, like, it was the next, like, 4 days later.
Really?
And then she was on,
How was that?
Oh, it was good. Yeah, she had a good time. Yeah,
I could imagine. Okay.
Yeah, she was praising the same thing, talking about Wesley Ann, talking about her daughter's performance.
Okay, yeah, she did amazing.
Yeah, but some people might be wondering what it was. Do you mind explaining, like, to Savannah, what it was exactly?
It was a conference of educators, policymakers, students, and they all gathered. And what it seemed like it was a whole day or. It was an event that, you know, comprised of different workshops and things of that nature. And so we were tasked with telling, you know, what was it? I said, but I thought I talked about being, was it Black in America or was it Black in America? No, it wasn't Black in America.
Yeah, you did. You mentioned it a little bit towards the end of your speech.
Right, but I don't think I titled it. I'm trying to think.
But
turning knowledge into action. Excuse me. I'm getting the opportunities confused. Okay, excuse me. So yeah, it was turning knowledge into action. And so that was the whole piece where, like, we can get here and talk about it. And I think a lot of things become like real theoretical and we just sit around the table, but, like, what are we going to actually do? And so it was enticing all of those that were involved in there to take these lessons, take these nuggets, and implement them. Because a lot of them were teachers or professors, like, in that
one was a superintendent, I heard, and then there's some, like, people that were, like, in the higher education boards and stuff that could, like, make changes and stuff. And it was a lot of, like, just telling. I think my speech is telling my story,
right, and that's why it was even more perfect. So you were to say a superintendent is in the room, and then you say that your father is a superintendent. You just got, again, congratulations. So I mean, that's now even it props your ears to listen a little bit closer, because you're hitting home on the people that's in the room. So it was great.
Very nice.
I think definitely how he set it up, and the idea behind the speeches was beautiful on Professor Booker's part. I love doing his things. It was the 4th time I've done one of his stuff.
Wow.
And
you seem comfortable though, I must say.
You should have seen my heart. It was like a rat on a wheel. Like he was like not perfect. Yeah, I just know to keep that rat quiet. Give it that cheddar.
Right. There you go. Back to the cheese. Huh?
Back to the cheese. Okay. See, tonight's show is all about cheese. So,
yeah, that was great.
But yeah, like when I went up there, I definitely the first time I went up and we did the practice round, I flubbed it up so bad. Probably I messed up.
It just wasn't enough. He shorted himself.
Oh yeah.
We told him just to get back, dive in. Like, let us have it, you know.
Yeah.
Don't hold back.
Yeah, and then Destiny's mom, she was like pretty on me about it. She was like, she come up, she's like, you got this, you know this. It's your story. And I was like,
own it.
She literally said, own it. She's like, own your story. I was like, all right. So then we did the second practice run. It was better. And then I think the last time I did it, I think I hit it right in the head. I'm not to like toot my own horn, but I think I hit it on the head perfectly. Because I did connect it back to my father a bit, and I kind of asked them at the end of my speech of like, what are we gonna do to like change education and actually give people what they need, you know? Because I think that's important. 'Cause I feel like a lot of people, they talk about it and they beat around the bush of like, yeah, we could do this and that. I think this would be good and we can implement this, and then they never do it.
Right. What's the voice again? That was perfect. But yeah, they never do anything.
Yeah. You don't like the headphones?
No, I'm gonna go get Andrew.
Okay, he's here?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. But it's just me and you right now. We'll be right back. We'll be here, but Savannah will be back with Andrew.
Indeed.
But
yeah, bro.
I think like just people just talk about it. And I think like a lot of my dad, like what I look up to him about with that stuff is like when he talks about that stuff, he actually goes and does it.
Right.
So he like asks permission from the board, and the board's like, yeah, you can do this, and he's like, all right, cool, and he does it like immediately, and he'll push for things and do stuff. Because my dad was at before he was a superintendent, he was a principal at an intermediate school, or like a middle school, which was 7th to 8th grade.
Okay. And
when he was there, before he got there, it was like the lowest testing school on in Shelton, the town I'm from.
Okay.
And then he came in and started implementing all this stuff. And then right before he left the school, he divided the school in half and made it like half of like almost a tech school and half of like a regular education school. So it's a lot more hands-on on one side and more like the stuff for people that have a harder time with stuff.
Okay.
And like really like hone in on like some like, you know, hands-on
discipline.
Yeah. And then the other side was more like the typical education aspects of it. Hey, this is Andrew, by the way. your mic's on. You can adjust it whenever you want and tell me when you're ready. Ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Oh, great. Andrew, my new roommate, also is going to be on the show tonight. Hi, Andrew.
Hello.
We're talking about education. You can pull the mic a little closer to you. Don't be shy.
Well, I don't know how close you're meant to get it.
He's Scottish, by the way. He's from Scotland. Yeah. He's a transfer student.
That's dope.
Yeah.
You liking it?
Yeah,
so
it's
far?
good. Yeah, it's been. The first time I walked in, I just seen a cowboy sitting in my dorm, but
I was wearing a Cowboys hat. It was UFC. I was watching. I was enjoying UFC, man. I had my aviators on. I was rooting my guy.
Oh, the whole fit.
Yeah, I was ready, and then he didn't win. But
yeah, no, it's good. It's a lot different to Scotland in general, so everything's bigger.
It's bigger.
I wouldn't say everything's better, but
yeah,
bigger. Like as far as the buildings, or what specifically? Is it?
Well, the cars.
Okay.
That's definitely bigger.
he's been impressed by a lot of trucks. He doesn't see trucks and
Well,
all
there's
the lift
cars
kits and
there, but
everything on them.
they're like minuscule size, like Hot Wheels. But,
Oh wow.
Hot Wheels.
So are they really trucks?
Oh.
the food's bigger portions and everything. Like that general things.
Everything's big. What about the people?
Just say it. Just say it. Just say what you think of it.
Big, so.
Oh. You know,
God,
not me. You can say anyone else.
He moved to Scotland.
You know what? I'm going to Scotland, and we'll see what I have to say about your place. All right?
They need to eat.
Listen, man.
I was saying to Liam, when you're in Scotland or anywhere in Europe, everyone that's European anyways, you can always hear an American from like miles away in comparison to everyone that's living in Europe. I don't know why. You guys just speak really loud compared to everyone else.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think Daryle speaks that loud, though.
I think he's soft.
Especially when
Like
he
here-
public speaks, though. Yeah.
Well, here you don't see it, but like when you're in Europe and you're listening to everyone and you're just in public, you can hear.
Yeah.
Like, it could be
You
really
hear
loud.
American
and
a
you'll
mile
hear an
away.
American fucking ages away. Well, sorry.
It's okay.
I say we're loud. Obnoxious.
I have a dump button, don't worry. Erase the last. So no one heard what you just said.
It's okay. It wasn't that interesting.
But what was I gonna say? Yeah, but he did that with the school. Going back, what I was saying, and basically the school's in a better spot now, and he's doing what he's doing.
Okay.
But yeah, I think overall that experience of being there was unreal. I always have a good time with it, and I very much enjoy doing those kind of speeches and everything.
No doubt about
So-
it. I don't doubt that that was just the first of many. So
yeah, I hope not. I hope not. I hope it is. I hope it's not.
No, it won't be.
Yeah.
So, especially with us being connected now further through this. So,
yeah. Did he contact you about doing any others though?
Yeah, so I just did one this past Saturday. And
Oh,
that's
really?
What I got it confused with. It was being Black in America, Black History Month. And then I have another one at UConn. I don't know if it's up here. It said Avery Point. Are y'all familiar with Avery Point?
Yeah, it's in Groton.
Oh, okay. See.
Down in Groton.
Okay, thank you. I knew somebody.
You're welcome.
I don't ask me.
I have no clue.
I'm basically from Scotland, too.
You know, there's a town next door named
Called
Scotland.
Yeah.
Really?
So people all thought he was from the town for so long.
Some people actually thought I was American. Okay.
They were mad at you. They were yelling at you, weren't they?
He's like, yeah, Liam's big in America. People are like,
It's funny.
yeah.
So yeah, Matt, and then so I'm doing that one on Wednesday, and that's about code switching. I'm sure we all can relate to when you're in different spaces, how you approach different people.
Oh yeah. I get that. Yeah.
So yeah, interested, and they're all poems, but I don't want to limit. You know, I'm actually. Should I say this publicly? Nah, it don't matter.
No, say it.
I'm thinking about. I wanted to do a poem for our graduation.
Oh really? Yeah.
You know, because I just see this momentum in poetry, presenting it, and that being like my art. But I don't know if I want to, or like, should I do?
Are you speaking at graduation?
Well, there is a student speaker, and I can ask to be the student.
Oh
speaker.
really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's where it's like, but I don't know if I want to do a poem or do like spoken word or do oratory, like make it just a speech.
Yeah.
You know, if I want to confine myself so fast, but I mean that's neither here nor there. But at the end of the day, I know that I do want to do something at graduation. So
Yeah.
I do see that. Like, I mean, again, I just keep going back. Like that first time just opened up like a world. It really just widened my perspective to how much we can do with our talent. Like, I feel like even the fact that you got up there and freestyled and just it came off effortlessly because you're telling your story at the end of the day. And storytelling is a part of like why we're all here. Like why we expect people to listen. So yeah, it's a beautiful thing. So I'm just trying to get the most out of it.
I definitely love watching people public speak. I definitely like seeing the process, I think, behind how they do it. 'Cause I like to see, like, do you write a speech? Do you rehearse it multiple times? Right. Do you not rehearse it? Do you just walk in and say, hey, what am I doing? And then just kind of just do it right there and there.
But even most people who have a speech, like they still have to at least have talking points. Like where they usually look at it. Like a poem is so much different. Or if you want to perform it, because it takes like the antics. I got to walk, a certain way, look a certain way. I got to make sure if it's do a dramatic pause, make a certain face, freeze here, move there. So it's all encompassing of a performance. Like it's an art, So it's a lot that goes into it. So I mean, but just learning. Like I say, learning from life right now, listening to life.
Have you guys ever done public speaking, Savannah and Andrew?
Oh,
No.
No.
Oh, you
Said,
no.
no.
Why a no?
I don't like public speaking.
Why not? Have you ever thought about it?
It stresses me out. No. Like, I want to be a teacher. So I got that.
Okay.
But
well, that's gonna take
classroom.
public speaking skills.
This is
no,
true.
Yeah, but
yeah.
It's not like a big group of people. It's a classroom, 20,
Oh yeah, of
30
like
kids.
40 kids.
I've had small classes so far. They've all been pretty small,
That's
and it's
great.
fine.
Yeah.
But no, big crowds, no thank you.
Mm-hmm. Andrew?
Apart from like presentations, no. No, never.
I would love to see you go up there and just talk about it. If you like talk about
I probably
America.
stumble on my words. But
I think you could do it, man.
Yeah.
I don't have anything to say.
Yeah.
But
Scotland is not Scotland.
Yeah. I never yeah.
I'll just go up there and be like, Scotland forever.
He started singing the national anthem. He was singing that in the dorm one time, and I was like, "What are you doing?"
Flower of Scotland.
Yeah.
I like to hear that.
I probably couldn't do it word for word. I need to look it back up.
But the first time, I don't like doing public speaking either. But I would do it like occasionally a little bit when I was in high school with like this club I was a part of. So I'd go in front of crowds and like speak a little bit, but it wasn't just me. So it was like it wasn't like people didn't really see me that much. It wasn't like I'm out in front and being like, hey, it's all about this guy. So take the show, Liam. I'm like, oh, hold on, pull the brakes back. But like no, but when the first like ever like official like real public speaking was with Professor Booker.
I can believe it.
At UConn. And that was intimidating. Oh, that was really intimidating as hell. And like when I went there with him, it was at UConn. I think it was like 200 people. And I was like,
that's beautiful.
Yeah, and I don't even remember it. I don't remember anything I
Just
said.
blacked out.
What was it about?
God.
He's making it up.
No. Yeah, hold on. Let me think of something that sounds legit. No. No, it was like something, how to make something impossible, or something. It was something like that. It was like one of his things he has where it's like,
He always likes a theme. It has to go along with
Yeah,
it.
it was
Which makes
one of his
sense. It has to
themes.
flow. Gotta tell
oh
the
God,
story.
no, it's gonna bug me now. I gotta think about this.
But was it performed or was it, again, like you just went out there and
Oh,
spoke
it's how I
organically?
always do it.
Okay.
Every speech I do it like that. 'Cause that first speech I did write it down and I did practice it, but I feel like when I was practicing in the dorm and all that stuff, I was getting way to my head. And like the day before the speech, I scrumbled it up and threw it out, and I just redid the speech when I got there at practice. When we were doing the practice things, I was just doing the speech for the first time, and then I was like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do, and I did it, and apparently it was good. Everyone said it was pretty good.
That's why he invited you back.
Yeah, I mean, if it
lost
was
your number,
yeah, he'd probably be
I
like,
haven't seen you in a while. You know, you been all right.
He's like, I don't know, who are you? Yeah,
So that's great.
Yeah.
Trust yourself, instinctive. So that's
yeah.
that's your style.
Oh God, no, it's gonna bug me now. How to make?
But you're gonna public speak as a teacher. Like, I hope you.
Yeah.
Hope you know that.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so I mean, you already do it.
I already do. I'm a substitute. So
That's great.
yeah.
What's the subject?
I want to do art or history.
Art. Can
I
you
don't
do it
know
both?
which one. I'm studying art history right now,
Mm.
but to teach that, I gotta choose one or the other unless I want to go to the collegiate level.
Why?
Because there's not a lot of just straight art history teachers that are in high school or middle school, which is what I want to do.
You don't think that any students would be interested in?
Oh no,
that, or-
people would be interested. But I'd have to be a history teacher, and then we can do like
Okay,
different
okay.
courses
But you
based
gotta
off
get
of
in
that.
the door first.
I gotta get in the door.
Okay, I
Yeah.
understand.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a history major.
Really?
Oh, not history major, business. Sorry.
Finance.
Finance.
Okay, finance.
God damn.
I gotta
That
go.
was
My
so
schedule
far off.
hard, like, at one point. And now,
Yeah.
now look where you are.
Do you pronounce it finance or finance?
Finance.
Okay.
Yeah. You should hear. He says bloody hell. He says like from Harry Potter. I've heard him say it before, and it's the funniest thing.
Harry Potter.
Yeah, and he said it one time. I was like,
I'll just slip or something. Bloody hell.
he says wanker, and I think that's hilarious.
Actually,
Bloody wink. Okay.
No, let's not go together.
I liked it though.
He's like, keep them separate.
Yeah, you got it. You're right.
But before we go on a break and anything like that, you were talking to me before because Savannah was talking to me and we were talking about what were we talking about? The make that brought this up or something.
I don't remember, but I remember saying something about you.
I'm very reserved.
Very reserved.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I wanted to
Very
see
reserved
like if
person.
people agree with that because someone told me one time it's like it's better to keep the mind wandering about someone and like always like not like kind of like tell your whole story out to someone right off the bat. I don't know if anyone agrees with that or not. That's how I've always seen it,
Yeah.
kind of thing. Because I just feel like it's always I get very like I'm not very trustworthy with a lot of people, and I don't know if anyone agrees with that or not. Like not telling everyone everything, you know.
It took you almost 2 years to open up to me. Like when I first met you, you were very much to yourself, quiet. We had maybe a few conversations, just small little things. Just recently, you started showing more of a personality.
Yeah.
That's because I came into his life.
Yeah, this guy,
He did all of it.
takes all credit. He's like he's known me for a month. He's like,
You're welcome.
All me.
it's all me, guys. You should be thanking me. but
Well,
but
you are wearing a leather jacket. I feel like anybody who wears a leather jacket is reserved.
In cowboy boots. In his
Listen,
cowboy boots.
what's wrong with my boots? All right.
Nothing's wrong with them.
when
Nothing's
you
wrong
get
with
Let
them.
me get the cowboy hat, and then we'll see what.
And the aviators, all of it.
and we'll see what's going on. We'll see what everyone says then.
No, what do you feel like made you move like that, or
Like I don't like I think and people can open floor conversation, ask questions as much as you want and make your own statements, of course. I just think I have like a thing with people where I don't trust people a lot, so it's like I trust people in like different levels. So it's like if I trust you a lot, you'll know a lot about me. If I don't trust you at all or anything, you will know nothing about me, and you'll assume I'm like very shallow and very much like cold-hearted. And people think I am sometimes. Strangers do. People think I'm like, what's wrong with him?
Really?
Yeah.
I never got cold-hearted from you. Never.
Some people do. Some people think I'm like very
I just got shy and kept to yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess. I don't know. It's different for everyone. I don't know. But like, and then like as you get to know me a bit, like you get to see a little bit more of myself. But it's like I've trusted people to the max before, and I've given them everything, and then they've kind of thrown it back in my face a lot. Where it's just like, you know, they'll just use it against me, or like think of me differently of X, Y, and Z. You know, I don't know if that if that makes sense.
Well, I think
anyone.
most people are like reserved when you first meet people, and then you kind of have to figure out what type of person they are. But that's just your natural like instinct of figuring out someone, so then you can open up to them or whatnot, or limit back what you're going to tell them or how you're going to act around them, because it could cause issues for you or them, or anyone else.
Yeah,
information handling.
I agree with you. What are you gonna say?
So that would be the natural progression of like an introduction. So most I'm gonna give you right now is my name. All right, you gotta work your way up. Everything up.
What's your sleep schedule?
Give me your address. All right?
Where's your location? He told me to share my location with him. He has my location now.
I do. Watch out. So I was actually just having a conversation around this topic with my lady, and it was, I don't want to make it biblical, but we've been on this like spiritual journey, and part of the Bible is this gentleman named Joseph, where he was punished for telling his brothers his dreams, because in his dreams he ruled over his brothers and his family. But he put it in a more of a like condescending context. So maybe if you just say like, I may have more money than you, or I may be more affluent or have more influence per se, which can be perceived as, but I mean, if you have a gift, I mean, that's why there's tiers to this stuff. But I would say when I had the conversation, it opens up. So are you more reserved when it comes to who you tell because of like for the sake of them knowing, or is it more so what they may respond back to you? Because if I tell you now, I'm more susceptible to your opinion, and that may sway me. So, like, the fact I just said, okay, I wanted to speak at graduation, I may open that up. And now, but are you sure you want to speak at graduation? Yeah. So now that gives me this thing, well, okay, well, I don't know. Do I want to speak? So it's like
you
that.
should.
You know, thank you.
I hope that helps.
So, yeah, and that's where it is. It could either help or hurt, potentially. So being reserved, and so that's where, like, the instinct that comes in, and where you could call discernment, or you just have this feeling, this vibe that people always invoke energy, just like nature. So if I have a vibe from you where you seem trustworthy, you seem loyal, like a good person, I don't necessarily feel like I'm withholding anything, but I'm just like letting the conversation flow. And like if we get in a whole conversation, you just told me your birthday, and then I'm like, oh, I don't do that on the first conversation.
He never does that. Liam never does
I don't tell anyone my birthday. No.
Oh, you're that guy. Okay. He's like, it was somebody. I felt the energy. You know?
he's like, hold on.
Somebody here doesn't tell birthdays.
It's me.
So what? Okay.
Sorry, guys.
I need to explore that a little bit. So why is that? I mean,
that's a whole nother like can of worms, like
okay.
the birthday thing, because I was even telling him this earlier. It was the same thing with Valentine's Day, Christmas, anything like that. People tend to make how I see my birthday, or this is how I see it in general with a lot of things. People tend to, let's say it's your birthday, right? And I throw a birthday party for you, and I invite all your friends over and your family over. And then you're over, and I gave you a bunch of these gifts, and everyone gets you a bunch of gifts and stuff. And you come over, and we're like, surprise, it's your birthday. And you're like, yes, and you're excited, right? And then I go to everyone and be like, look what I did. Aren't you guys so happy for what I did for Daryle? I threw him this party. Aren't I such a great host for doing this? I got him all these gifts. Aren't I such a great guy for doing this for him? And it becomes more of a thing of, how is this like making you look, and how is it making be like all about me, like, oh, I'm such a great guy because I did this thing for Daryle, you know? And
that's a great perspective.
And I think it's ridiculous for me, because I feel like that's a lot of my time with my birthday is people being like, well, we're doing this, we got to do this, can you just do this for me? It's like, it's my birthday. You want me to do this for you? Like, and also one time I went out on a date with a girlfriend of mine, an ex, now for sure, and
for sure,
and
no doubt about it.
And she knew I did not like my birthday, but she knew my birthday because she was my partner. So of course I'm gonna tell my girlfriend my birthday, and I told her I don't want to. She's like, "What do you want?"
Thought about that conversation. It's my birthday. This what you doing? You gonna surprise me on my birthday? A gift? I'm about to lose my mind. Do not give me a gift. Take this gift back right now.
Yeah, that's basically what happened, and we broke up. No, that's not what happened.
You were too nice to me.
Yeah. You were
go to Scotland.
Too kind.
Okay.
But no, she took me. No. So she went to me and she was like, "Get dressed." And I told her beforehand. I said to her months before my birthday, I was like, "Hey, when my birthday comes up, I want to do this. I just want to relax with you. Can we watch a movie and just relax and just stay inside? I don't like doing anything on my birthday. I'm not a big celebrator. Don't like the showmanship of it. I don't like the all eyes on me. Like, it's not my thing." And it's the same thing of my mind of like, it's going to make it's for some reason it's more about them. And she's like, yeah. Literally the day of my birthday, she comes in my dorm and she's like, "Get dressed." And she's in a dress. And I was like, what's going on? She's like, "Wear something nice." And I don't know if a lot of people see how I dress. People say I look like a stepdad when I dress. So I wear like...
What does that even mean? Stepdad.
Hawaiian shirts and shorts.
Oh,
No. I wear blue. The nicest I get is like blue jeans, boots, a baseball cap, and like a shirt like this. This is like the nicest I dress. And she was like, and I was like, that's like, and I told her like, I don't dress nice. She was like, well, try. And I was like, okay. And I had to like find this button up shirt in the bowels of my drawers that I've never seen in 10 years. It was so white that I was like, I've never worn this. There's not a single stain on this, like not even a sweat stain. So this thing must be like, I must have just bought this yesterday, even though it was like 10 years ago.
Right.
So so I broke that out and we went. And I was like, "What are we doing?" And she's like, "We're going out to dinner." I was like, "Why?" She's like, "For your birthday." And I'm like, "I don't want to go." And she's like, "Well, can you do it for me?" And I was like, "Sure, anything for you." We go to the dinner. We go out to dinner, and we're getting dinner. And she's a vegan, so we had to go to a place that she has to eat at, which is fine, and that's okay too. So we go to a place, and I told her, and she knows I also don't want gifts. I'm like my father with presents. When you give me a gift, I'm like this. I'm like, thanks. Even if I really like it, I'm like, thanks. I really wanted this. And people were like, did you hate that? I was like, no, I really wanted. They're like, why'd you look like you like pooped your pants? Like, you were like, you have a problem. I'm like, yeah. And then we're at the restaurant, and she plops up this big bag on the table, and I'm like, what's that? She's like, it's your presents. I was like, okay. And then I open it, and I just said, I'm like my father. I liked all the gifts in there. They were really nice and thoughtful, but I'm like my dad. Wow, thank you. Oh my God, I really wanted that too. And I kept opening it, and then after a while, she was like, do you not like him? And I was like, no, I really do like him. She's like, you're ungrateful. And I was like, and it just swapped like a dime. And I was like, what? And she's like, you
What?
Like, what? And she's like, why do you hate me? I was like,
Whoa.
in the restaurant with people all around us yelling now, why do you hate me? And I said, I don't hate you, honey. I just don't want to be here right now for my birthday.
Right.
And then she starts crying and yelling in the restaurant. And we haven't gotten our dinner yet.
Wow. The appetizer.
We just
Yeah.
like I'm already licking my fingers off of like the appetizers. And I'm not yelling, but she's yelling at me, calling me every name in the book in the middle of the restaurant on my birthday, yelling because I'm ungrateful because I don't like the gifts, that I don't want to go to dinner with her, that I don't want to do this and that. And I'm in the restaurant, I'm like, I'm not mad at you. And she's still yelling at me. I'm like, I'm not ungrateful. And I'm literally just calmly talking to her and she's screaming at me. And then the dinner comes.
Oh, y'all still eat?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
You're skipping the story.
It was, and then I asked for a to-go box.
Okay.
Immediately, I was like, can we get a to-go box? And she's still crying and yelling at me as the waiter is coming back with the to-go boxes.
Wow.
Oh,
And
gosh.
she told me I have to pay for dinner.
On your birthday.
On my birthday.
Crazy.
So I paid for the meal.
Least you could do. You made her
we
cry.
got back.
Dang.
We got back.
Keep joking. Keep joking.
No,
we
she
got
wasn't joking.
we got back
She's
to the
on her
dorm.
side.
She took my meal that I paid for, and her meal and my meal, and left to go back to her place. I never saw her for the rest of the night. And yeah, that was basically my birthday party thing.
Thank you
air
for that
quotes.
transparency, man.
Yeah.
You know, see, that was a dump.
That was a dump. I could dump.
You
later.
can.
You could
I
dumb,
could.
but yeah, I don't tell people my birthday because I just think that stuff like that happens. That's an extreme thing that happened to me, but it's the same. It's the selfishness of the fact of like, because in her mind it was all about how she looked and how she was like this like princess that gave me everything, and it was gonna make the day I don't like the most beautiful day of my life, and then she like made it even something I hated even more.
Right.
So yeah,
I'm interested to hear. I know you said that you share that same feeling.
Yeah, I don't
towards-
like getting
so
gifts.
I'm interested to hear your perspective.
I actually don't mind giving gifts. I said to you earlier, both perspectives I don't like, but actually I do like giving gifts.
yeah,
I don't like receiving them though, and it's the same as what Liam was saying. Is like I get given a gift and I could really like it, but I hate getting given something I can just buy myself. Like I get the
So you want
you're
something
trying
you
to do
can't buy.
something nice.
You want in a house.
But I'm
or
like,
a Ferrari.
Just keep your money. Like we can go out and like I don't mind celebrating my birthday and everything, but we can go out and get food or do something fun instead of getting like a material item.
Yeah, spend time.
I can buy material items myself. I
Yeah.
don't need someone to buy it for me.
What about like handmade
I think
gifts?
I get mainly this from like my parents now. Like I'm old enough now where I like it's like Christmas and they're getting me like things they think I want, and it could be something that's nice, like a jumper or whatnot. But I just can't stand the fact that like I could just buy this myself.
yeah.
And we could just
Yeah.
enjoy Christmas
Mm.
and have a meal and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need things bought for me.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
This is very profound. You brothers are beautiful, man. I have to adopt some of this. Truly, I've never thought of it to that extent. Because how you contextualize it is a little different versus like I don't tell people my birthday.
Oh. I mean, he tells me his birthday.
Right, he'll tell you just he doesn't want it.
I don't
Which
tell-
think
I
you
don't tell
really want
anyone.
the same thing.
I don't tell anyone.
Do you not also just not want gifts and the
I just don't want gifts. I just
whole
don't
happy
want.
birthday, happy birthday text?
I don't. I'm just. It's just not my thing. It's just not my thing. It's just like.
It's very humble.
Yeah. I mean, because to me, it's like, because one of my birthdays like, happens literally like last year, and on that day, like something bad happened. You know what I mean? And it's just like to me, it's just like this is a normal day. It's like just because it happened on my birthday, it could have happened any other day, and it's just like, why do I gotta treat this?
Part of the movie was a tradition. That was one of the pillars, in our
in the film.
Society.
Yeah,
was tradition, and I would say I'm like that. I think it's around the same vein of Valentine's Day. Like these are all like those are like man-made to an extent, and I don't. Again, yes, they definitely make a lot of money on those times. Those that make the gifts, but I appreciate them in the sense of when are we would we have done it either like anyways like that to that magnitude of celebration with the birthdays, with Valentine's Day, with Christmas. How of course like the origin of it is not supposed to just be gift giving, but it's this expression of appreciation and celebration. So like Thanksgiving, but it's bringing everybody together. Like it is another component that I can appreciate because we wouldn't be doing it otherwise. Yeah, and we need that. Like of course, like women and their perception of like things like Valentine's Day. Like I seen a post and my lady still asking me to tell her, even though we're together, to ask her to be my Valentine. And I'm thinking
I'm full for that.
Of course you are. Right. That's why you were for his ex paying.
That was a joke.
No, it wasn't.
That was a joke.
They're together.
Let's be
You
fair.
meant it.
No, we didn't.
I get it though.
I saw the passion in your eyes.
You're a girl's girl. You know, I get it. Girls.
Listen, you can play for one team. I'm playing for all of them.
Exactly. So and like to the extent they appreciate things a little bit different. And like that's part of the dream. That's why some of them want big weddings and like they like those gestures, go the extra mile, which us as men sometimes we just don't fully get it. But oh no, I just think it's all perspective, and you can get the good out of it. Now it is a tradition that you were born on that day, and I do believe, like I say, I don't believe in happenstance. I think that so if something happened on your birthday that day, I would journal about it. I would write about it. I would meditate on it. I would think about it. Because like again, like life is too compounding, like it's too circular for what happened then not to have anything to do with what happened now. Like I truly believe that. So but that's just my 25 cents.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. I think
I say shout the birthday to the world, but hey, don't give me nothing. I don't want nothing.
Just to add, like me and my friends have never gotten each other a gift ever.
Yeah,
like it's just one of those things. Like we might say happy birthday to each other. Sometimes we'll forget.
Well, you're
but
not.
We'll still go out for a meal and that's it.
Well, you're not a big holiday guy either. Sometimes you're not a big holiday guy either, though. Sometimes
holiday as in
like any holiday, really.
Well, like Christmas.
Like any holiday.
To me, holiday sounds like going on your summer holiday.
Well,
like a vacation.
Christmas, Halloween.
Oh, no.
Well, you say holiday to you seems like it's a vacation?
Yeah.
Really?
No, that's what they call it.
Yeah, we
say a vacation is a holiday.
Yeah, we say we're going on holiday.
Oh, wow. So, like, I got to start using that.
Yeah, so,
like,
like,
I'm a manager that.
If I'm going
I'm going on holiday. So, holiday coming up? Nah,
if I'm going to, like, Spain or anything, I'll be like, I'm going to go on holiday. I'm going to Spain.
Wow.
For 2 weeks.
On vacation.
I like that.
Yeah.
Going on holiday.
Look at him.
Sounds better than vacation.
It does. I'm with it.
Yeah.
Maybe you guys should like incorporate more with like proper English.
Yeah.
I'll receive it.
You should learn a little bit more of what we say. That's just my 2 cents.
Yeah, get your stuff together. But.
Well, I mean, I've started saying soccer instead of football.
I know, which I'm happy about.
You said gas instead of petrol too.
You know they call soccer football.
Yeah.
They call gas stations petrol.
You're not the only ones.
Petrol stations.
Well, because you're not pumping a gas. Gas isn't a liquid.
It smells like gas.
It's petroleum.
It's dumb.
But it's gasoline.
Y'all are dumb.
Yeah.
You just said.
Gas.
But
this is
petroleum. That's the compound.
Gas equals you dumb.
Right. Petroleum.
Live with that one.
Dang.
Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting.
He's just this guy. He's all about hating on Americans.
No, I'm not.
Yeah. Just say it.
I love Americans.
Really?
It's not Liam.
Okay.
Right.
That makes sense.
Yeah. This guy, he came up to me one time. He's like, you're my best friend in America. You know that?
I don't remember this. I was too drunk.
He's like, you're my.
I was too drunk.
Yeah. He's like, you're my best friend in America.
Making it up,
No, he came up to me. He's like, I'm so sorry. You're my best friend in America. I was like, get off me. It's like, you just insulted me. Because I don't know what he said, but he was insulting insulted me all night. he's like, come on.
I'm sure you gave it right back though.
No, I didn't. I held my tongue.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
Sure
I give it back.
I woke up with a black eye.
Yeah, you woke up with more than that.
So did you know anybody in America before you moved here? Or?
No, I don't know anyone.
So
I have
Liam
some
was your
family
first
in
stop?
Canada. Huh?
Liam was his first American.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
That's important.
Oh God.
yeah.
I gave him all the impressions.
Liam and Jack watching UFC.
Yeah.
I just
My
got
friend,
back from.
my friend Jack. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just came back and got through the door and seen them watching the UFC. The first thing I see is this guy with a cowboy hat on. And
I was like,
ears.
literally the first thing I said to him was, Andrew? He
Yeah.
never met me, but I knew
he was
he
like,
was
"Are
my
you
new
Andrew?"
roommate. I knew he was a new roommate. So I was like, what's up, Andrew? He was like, he was like, I am knackered. That means tired.
Yeah,
Knackered.
Yeah.
Knackered.
or shattered.
Shattered. Yeah.
Shattered.
Yeah.
That's proper English? Like, what does that mean? I thought shattered was like broken glass.
Yeah, it is, but.
So
I
y'all
have
get
no
the
idea
mix-
why we
So
say
y'all get
it.
the mix and mingle, but we don't get the mix and mingle. That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. Okay.
They have like 50 words for tired, and I can't have one word for gas station. I can't call a gas station. It's dumb, but he can say, I'm shattered like glass. Like, get out of here. Like,
Okay. Well, agree to disagree.
no, you need to leave.
That was hilarious. I'm with that.
This guy makes fun of me about all my words, but I'm going at him. I'm trying to teach him proper English.
Oh yeah, but you're saying that, but then constantly all I hear is hoodie,
Yeah. Well, because when you say hoodie, how do you say hoodie?
hoodie.
No, he's lying. He's changed it. He goes like, I gotta take off my hoodie.
I don't say that. I don't.
No, he says my hoodie. He says my hoodie. And every time he says it, I'm like my hoodie.
I don't say that.
He comes in the door.
I say
He's
hoodie.
like, I gotta take off my hoodie. I'm like, get out. He's like, you need to leave.
Wow.
Yeah. And he's like, I don't say Udi. And I'm like, you just said it again. He's changed it now. He says hoodie, like a normal version of me.
That's how I say it.
No, you literally
You
say.
know, you just say it to piss me off.
No, no. Everyone agrees. Everyone agrees with me in the dorm. Everyone agrees with me in the dorm that you say Udi when you come in the dorm.
I have not heard anyone agree.
Finn said it the other day. Finn was like, he's like Udi, what?
That's funny. So I know you're in your last year.
Yeah, in my
Are
last
all
year.
y'all in your last years?
I'm a junior.
Okay, you're a junior.
Third.
So
Junior.
Whatever that means.
Yeah,
Junior.
junior.
It's different. They don't have that in.
Oh, okay.
We just have first, second, third, and fourth.
Yeah. When I asked him, are you junior or senior? He's like, I have no clue what you're talking about.
Junior to me sounds like you'd be in like primary school.
Yeah. Well, basically, you are. Look at you.
Oh God.
Okay. Full grown beard in primary school. I'd be a bit concerned.
You guys have a beard.
A beard.
Y'all both have
Full
beards. Yeah, we're not in this conversation. Yet.
No, we're not.
You got something going on there.
I wouldn't call it something.
Yeah, you got like this.
I got something.
You like, you know.
I haven't got the thing.
You're like, I don't know what this
Yeah,
is.
it's a
Little
little bit.
mustache. You know
They call it the Italian stallion
You know,
in
it
some
still hurts.
places.
It still hurts when I get the shape up. It still hurts my lip.
The shave?
Yeah, the razor, man. That
Does it
means-
hurt?
That means it's too much skin. That's what that means. Y'all probably don't feel it.
I'm not,
Oh, you're talking about like when you shave?
I'm not
like
clean
clean
shaven for
when
a
you
while.
wait, you're
No.
not talking about your lips here. You're
The
talking
line
about
up when they line.
Oh yeah.
Oh
yeah.
yeah. You said that.
Do
You said
y'all
the.
feel that?
No.
No,
Yeah, exactly.
not anymore.
Yeah. That's
I don't remember that
That's the
feeling.
problem. Yeah.
Yeah, the first time I did, I was like the kid from Home Alone where he goes like, ah.
Yeah.
It does hurt.
Yeah.
It doesn't hurt, but I definitely feel it.
It stings.
Yeah. Definitely.
Well, you're from Scotland. Like, what else is different in Scotland, in America?
The buildings, the
Yeah.
roads.
We have better buildings. I know.
You have better roads.
Yeah.
Condition wise.
Yeah,
But I'd
Go to my
say
town.
we have more fun roads to drive.
fun roads.
Yeah.
Mm.
Especially if you go up north to the Highlands and it's just a bunch of canyons.
Mm-hmm.
Well, mountains. You drive
Mhm.
through a bunch of mountains. It's really nice.
Mm-hmm.
But the architecture is far better in Scotland.
Liar.
the architect,
You don't agree?
but the buildings are better here.
Depends on where you go.
Well, okay. I'd say normal architecture.
He's showing me pictures.
Oh, okay.
I'd say normal. That's it.
You're gonna show me. It's gonna be like half wood, half stone.
No, no.
On the same
No,
like
there is some
floor.
beautiful-
Okay,
there is some beautiful
There's a
architecture.
lot of like in Edinburgh, the architecture is nicer. But if you go out with and just go into like normal house in the States and whatnot, the houses here are a lot nicer.
Well,
Because you guys have mostly like, I forgot what the word's called, but the houses
Suburbs?
are separate. Yeah, and in the UK, because it's like
they're all
the houses are
connected.
quite old. They're all built together.
Yeah.
It's just pre-war. I mean,
Do you live in
post-war.
a connected house?
Wait, other families?
No.
Like you said connected.
It's like
I'm trying to-
is it like a 2-family house where it's like
No.
same building but you have separate?
There is a lot of those, but no. There's
Duplexes.
a lot of them are just rows of houses. They're still just full-blown houses, but they're just stuck together.
You know, like
Oh,
you know,
I don't like that.
It
how
cuts
do I
down the
explain
cost,
it
that's
to you? Like it's just imagine
I
like
know,
a big
it's horrible.
building with everything connected.
Sounds
Like you know,
horrible.
like
like apartments.
like apartments.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's just apartments, but
townhomes.
it's just imagine a house, but it's like an apart. It's like imagine
like
a
a
house,
strip mall.
but then like the walls are connected. Yeah, the walls are connected to each house.
Yeah. That makes
So
sense.
Yeah.
So they're just right next.
I mean, it's not all of them, but like as
Yeah.
a majority.
Yeah.
there's
I
no
mean,
back alleys.
There's places like that here in
Uh,
America.
Yeah.
No back alleys.
There's always alleys anyway.
Mm.
We have that.
I remember I found my friend on an alleyway in Spain.
Oh God.
Yeah.
You found your friend?
Yeah, so
wow.
we were out drinking in Spain in Lanzarote. He's gonna hate me if he listens to this, but
No, he ain't. He's in Scotland.
anyways, we're out drinking. We're in this Irish pub, which is like underground, so there's no reception. The Wi-Fi is terrible, and he's quite bad when he's drunk. And he was like, "I'm going to the toilet." I was like, "Okay." 10 minutes pass. Well, it was like 5 minutes. I was like, "Okay." 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. I was like, "Where is this guy?" I left, went outside, went on Life 360 to track his phone, and found him all the way up the other side of the strip. So I was walking down, and then I just heard him like speaking. I looked to my right, and he's in an alleyway just speaking to himself. Straight up speaking to
Oh
himself.
God.
And then after that,
He's like, "What are you doing here?" He looks in the mirror.
Yeah.
He's like, "I don't know you, Andrew."
That was great.
yeah, and then after that, he proceeded to get with some like middle-aged woman that was a bouncer.
Did you tell him to put his?
Those are the best.
Did you tell him to put his Udi on?
No.
No,
No, it
Did you
was-
tell him? Did you tell him to put his Udi on
it was
afterwards?
topped off weather.
dang.
But
In the
yeah,
alley. So there are alleys.
I got
Yeah.
I got quite a few
Everywhere.
like,
I don't trust
holiday
Scotland's alleys. That's for sure. If guys like that are walking down there,
What?
you
Ooh, this is in Spain. So-
This is in Spain.
never mind.
Spain's a fun.
I love Spain.
dodgy place. But yeah, whenever he's like that, you just tell him like, "Oh, by the way, it's 5 o'clock in the morning." He doesn't go on his phone, so he'll be like, "Oh, I was going to a taxi and take himself back." So there's been so many times where I've just made him go home because he's that bad.
That is
Like
a
Poor
good
guy.
friend.
you can't get in anywhere, so there's no point in him being outside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna take a quick break, and then when we get back, we're gonna talk about the Dead Poets Society. Sounds good, guys?
Yes,
Sounds
sir.
great.
All right, we'll be right back. And we're on. This is your host Liam Sanders back again with Andrew,
Hello.
Daryl, and Savannah. You know, I got some energy, man.
What up,
You know,
what up,
I know
what
it's we're the late
I was
show.
in the middle of taking off my
We're in
headphones
the
that
late
weren't
show. We gotta
working,
like
actually.
wake up, you know. We gotta get up, right? Now,
Right.
now hit it, hit it.
Wake it,
hit it,
wake
hit
it,
it,
wake
hit
it, wake it. Better wake up right now if you asleep.
Liam, stop.
All right.
It's all good. You tried.
This is the end of the show. We're never being aired again. Okay. So the movie review time. If you haven't watched the Dead Poets Society, you don't want to be spoiled. Don't listen to this part. If you want to watch it and come back and listen to what you got to say, come back and watch it. But that's the spoiler warning. It begins now. Okay. So first impressions, first thoughts of the movie. Daryl.
So, disclaimer, I have 35 minutes left in the movie.
You didn't finish it.
You didn't
No!
finish it.
No.
But it's okay. Like, I get the concept. You can. I'm still
but
gonna
the
watch
ending
it.
is so important.
It's okay because I never got the concept.
I got the relatability. I'll say that.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but nah, you can still please unfold what happens in the end, if that's part of it. But nah, my perception was, I mean, off rip, with it being this like prep school with how they were dressed, it definitely reminded me of Morehouse, an all-male school or college, with the expectation with their pillars. I mean, we have pillars, 7 of them. It just was around that same vein of excellence. All of their teachers were mostly male, from what I could see.
It's a boys' school.
Yeah, so like it echoed that same experience that I had, and how they carried themselves. All of them were smart and came from families that had high expectations. So I could appreciate that. And then, of course, the poetry element and the professor, like how you all actually thought about when you all offered the different perspective of birthdays, how he had them stand on a desk and say, like, you have to look at things at different perspectives. So I thought there was a lot of takeaways, a lot of gems that was dropped in it that I would now implement, and I took notes on. So it's just. Are you
gonna finish it?
Oh yeah. I'm gonna finish on the ride back.
Okay.
Yeah, because I've been watching it really after I left the gym, and I started watching this evening. I know you told me, you told me to watch it. So yeah, man. So it like those were the biggest pieces to me. I guess outside, and then of him saying like when the director came up to him and he was criticizing him for like what he was doing and kind of stepping out of one of the pillars being tradition with how he was teaching. And like, isn't education meant to make you think freely and have a mind of your own? And that's exactly what he was doing with the marching and all that, having them like do what you want to do, take this, and like when they rip the pages and like not based off of what the author tells you to feel, but how it makes you feel. Because I know I took a few notes, but those was like my biggest pieces.
Yeah.
And it said that. Oh yeah, and I thought another piece that was very telling for me was in the beginning when they were just looking at the pictures of the brothers who had also come through the school like years ago, and saying how they all look like you. They have the same haircuts as you, the same hormones as you, and I think that's very important. So like my take, I don't know like what the producer, like his intent of it and the message and the why, but I would say just as far as how it resonated with me. And how like a takeaway that you can take from it is like I think part of my poem like exposure, like the exposure of electricity can leave us in the dark. So it's like unless you're exposed to things, unless you see things, if you don't see nobody who looks like you doing the things you aspire to do, and how do you even know what to aspire to do if you haven't seen anybody do it? If you don't know what's possible, like you made a thing, nothing's impossible. So, but how do you know? You don't know what you don't know. So I think just that moment of them seeing, and that's when I believe he first said, "Is it carpe diem?"
I think that's what he says.
That was like a big thing throughout the movie Carpe Diem. Dang, what did it mean though? It was like
you look it up.
Yeah. It was like boundless. It was something. Seize the day. What was it?
Seize the day.
Seize the day.
Yeah.
Seize the day. So.
See, Andrews remember some of it. Yeah.
And that's huge. Walked in. And I thought that was a huge thread throughout the movie, was just seize the day. And some of them, they took it, went left field where you end up trying to sleep with somebody's girl. Don't seize it like that.
He really seized it.
He was persistent.
That turned into a seizure.
He went all out.
Right.
Too much of the day was given.
But I'm pretty sure he got her. I didn't get to that part, but I'm almost certain.
He did.
Yeah. See, like,
he somehow went from kissing an unconscious girl
to she was.
They don't always work out like that.
When we were watching, I was like, "Is he kissing her?"
Yeah.
He's like slowly moving.
Yeah. And I was like, we were both like, "Oh, what's he doing?"
Yeah. Fellas, we are not condoning
unconscious
kissing.
No.
Unconscious kissing.
No, we were appalled by it. We were I was like, "How does she even like?" She was like okay with it. She was like,
"Seen Liam take notes." That's the only note Liam took.
I was like,
I gotta do that. I gotta take that.
Yeah.
See, but like I believe he already knew that it was something brewing. That's what brought him there. That's why he felt it, and that's why even when he said that, the last part I seen on the interaction, how I know that he was gonna get her. Why do you even care? Like, why did she stop him from punching? Why did she run out to him? Why did she go and talk to him after he went to the classroom and all that? So.
Yeah,
game recognized game. I seen the brother trying to get that. You gotta do what you gotta do.
Savannah, what was your thoughts of the movie?
I'm not gonna lie, I watched it like 3 years ago.
That's fine.
But
Oh, so you didn't rewatch it?
no,
Oh.
I didn't know it
I know.
was gonna
We're
be
in
the
the
movie
same boat.
until
I
like
know.
I was already at his dorm at like 9:00. So
For sure.
the ending is what had a huge impact on me. I think I forgot his name, but the one guy who his parents wanted him to go into something, but he wanted to do theater.
Neil.
Acting.
Yeah, Neil. Thank you.
Neil. Do you remember Neil?
He wanted to do acting.
Yeah. His father was
Mhm.
very strict.
Can I spoil it? I
Yeah,
don't
well,
wanna,
that's
like,
the point where
like,
it's spoiled.
I don't.
He,
He
do you want me
kills
to-
himself.
Yeah, he kills
He
himself.
ends up trigger warning.
Oh man.
He does end up.
That's
he
gonna
did-
sound like we're just laughing about it.
no,
no, we're
They're
not.
laughing at
That's
my
sad.
face.
No, I'm laughing at
No.
Daryl's
Yeah.
expression.
Yeah.
He ends up. What does he do?
Dang.
He jumps.
No, he shoots himself with his father's
His
gun.
father's gun.
Yeah.
Oh,
Uh,
wow.
He
That
does
took a
the
turn.
play.
I thought it was a great
Yeah.
ending. You know, my
So-
man got the
No,
girl.
it's a very
He
depressing.
he
ending.
does the play, and then he goes back, and his dad's like, "I'm gonna send you to military school for the next 10 years, and you're gonna go to Harvard." And he was like, "That's for the rest of my life." And his dad's like, and then the guy gets up and is about to yell at his dad and tell him how he feels, and then he sits back down and just accepts it that his life's over in his mind, and then and then he does, and I was like, "Oh my god!" I
Yeah.
just didn't. It was like left field out of nowhere, just
Yeah.
happened. So
That's powerful.
yeah,
Dang.
but yeah, continue.
That stuck with me because
Mm-hmm.
my parents were like the complete opposite, and it made me very, very grateful for the situation
Mm-hmm.
that I'm in. My parents, I had an opportunity to drop out of college and be a professional dancer, not like ballroom. I had to clarify.
I didn't think pole.
Ballroom. Okay, I have to clarify for some people.
Just going out there and doing hip hop.
I didn't think that. But
Yeah, yeah.
So
And-
robot dancing.
Whoa.
Very nice.
So ballroom. You said,
Ballroom,
right?
yes.
It's like Dancing with the Stars type vibe.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
yeah,
Like Honey Boo Boo.
yeah. That's
Those are
tallest
pageants.
tier. That's a top. That's a pageant. Yeah.
That's
Very
not, you're saying they're not professional?
That's what you're saying. All right, now.
Honey Boo Boo is very
Honey
different.
Boo Boo gonna come for you.
I'm saying they're professional. She's saying they're not.
Right. Mm-mm.
Continue, yeah.
Please.
Anyways,
Mm-hmm.
it made me very grateful that my parents were so willing to let me do what I want and let me choose my path in life. And even if it's not the path that they originally wanted for me, it's something that I wanted to do. And seeing people struggle that much with their family, it's sad, and I feel for them. But it also makes me very grateful for where I'm at.
Yeah.
And the Carpe Diem also.
Yeah.
Seize
Seize the day.
I try to live like that.
Yeah.
You know, in the moment, every day, make it the best that you can, because tomorrow is never promised.
Yeah. Andrew.
Well, I didn't know what the movie was actually going to be about. I seen the title, and then Liam told me the title, and I thought it was going to be.
You can pull the mic up towards you, you know.
Wow, is it that far away?
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be
Yeah.
like some
Yeah, I can-
scary film, and I seen them like tracking.
He said it was a horror film. He thought.
Yeah.
He thought when they went to the woods the first time that was actually gonna
Yeah.
do like some spells.
So I seen them tracking into the woods.
They did have
every
it
now
on
and
hoods.
then.
Wait, how do you say it? No, I said it wrong. The hoodies. Okay, they had on hoodies.
We're gonna start this again.
The Oodies out in the woods. They're conjuring up spells with the Oodies.
Yo, yeah, it wasn't supposed to. You was right. That's my fault. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, man. I needed another. We're done with it.
He did a crack at it. You
Yeah,
know?
we're throwing it away though.
I'm not.
I seen them tracking into the woods, and I thought, someone's gonna die, or something's gonna happen.
I forgot horror
some
movie.
some
Sorry.
spells are gonna occur,
Spells.
like the witches on campus.
No.
They're everywhere. There
Right.
actually
People.
is a witch covenant on campus. I'm not even joking with you.
Yeah.
There's,
There
there's
is.
people that dress up as witches
yeah,
and they
They
go on
watch
the
out
woods.
when you're
capes and
leaving.
stuff.
Yeah.
They were pentagrams and stuff.
Yeah.
I've
I think
not seen
it's
them.
pretty cool. I mean, they take some black cats and we don't see them afterwards, but it's like
Well,
I was wondering where mine went.
Okay.
Anyways, the film went on, and I didn't really understand where it was going because it just felt like a bunch of random stuff was happening.
Yeah.
And then I get told afterwards it was about men's emotions and masculinity. Yeah, and then I can kind of see, like as you were saying, like everything comes into part. Like now you can see afterwards, but when I was watching it, I was like, this just seems really random.
Yeah, I can see that too.
But yeah, I don't really even know what else to say about it.
It's fine.
I
think
no, I was going to talk on his masculinity thing.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, I think as a society, people try and say men can't express their emotions, men can't talk what they need to say, and I don't like that at all. And I think that was the Dead Poet Society is a great way of saying men have emotion and men can express them.
Yeah, because it gets built
and
up.
It's important. Exactly, it builds up. And when a man is able to cry in front of someone and actually let his emotions out, I think that is the biggest sign of bravery, and it is probably the peak of masculinity because he's able to express his emotion and push past that societal standard where he can't feel emotion, which is not fair to anyone.
That was beautiful. I would say that it speaks to why the young man killed himself. Honestly, he felt like he couldn't live his own life, and that his life and what it was no longer what he thought it could be was no longer. And it was amazing how with the leading up before the show, he was able to go to Captain, O Captain, or O Captain, whatever they wanted to call
Captain, my captain.
Yeah, O Captain, my captain. He was able to go and confide in him and let him know. So it was the difference in approach. Like, what if that would have been his dad? That would have never happened.
Right.
Sorry.
No, you good.
No,
5-second intervals.
Yeah, no,
I was going to say, it is a lot better how things are progressing over the years, over like men speaking out and everything, and more awareness. In Scotland, there's a thing called Andy's Man's Club. Andy Man Club, sorry. And
Handy or Andy?
Andy. No,
Andy.
not Handy, don't worry. I know you want to join.
Not Handy, don't worry.
Hey, yo.
Are you no longer interested?
Are you interested in joining the Handyman Club?
Because I wasn't worried before you said the word.
He was like, I'm all in it. It's Andy. It's Andy. It's over.
I might be mistaken, but I think it was named after some guy that killed himself.
Probably.
Oh, man.
Over this exact thing that we're talking about. And
Wait, what?
It was probably so quickly after.
But it was already a term. We went from Handy, to he killed himself.
Probably. Like, so immediate.
I'm sorry, Andy.
Anyways.
Where's a black cat say? Like, all right, come on, man.
Sorry.
Please get
sorry,
up
Andrew,
to
go
the
ahead.
club.
Talk about Handy. I'm sorry. Talk about
No,
Handy.
Andy.
Man,
Oh, my bad. Handy. I mean,
Oh,
Andy.
from Toy Story.
Get it right, Liam.
This is such a short.
Andy!
This is such a short sentence.
I know
was
that
gonna say
guy.
as well. Such a short sentence. I can't even finish it.
Yo, I'm sorry, man. You just the butt today. You the butt of the jokes, man. I'm sorry. Lord.
Yeah. It was,
What do y'all call buttons? I'm just interested to know. I can't be butt.
The poor guy
Arse.
speak his sentence.
Arse.
Arse.
Arse? I
Arse.
see. I knew it was something. Arse.
Yeah.
Arse. What does that even? Why?
I don't know. Every time I can't bother.
They also say
can't be-
tush.
Can't be ours.
Okay, I see tush.
Just-
I don't
We
say
were talking about the
that.
Andes.
He's making things up.
Oh, you gonna say that?
No.
He believed it.
I mean,
You see how good I am at
that
lying.
was
You
great.
you believed it means you're like, tush.
I mean, if you can say arse, you'll say tush.
You're like, tush is so proper. Like, you had that in your
Let's do
mind.
that.
I think that's
more
like just,
believable.
the royal family that say that.
Okay. Continue, sorry.
Yeah, I keep,
So I'm gonna forget where I am now. But
Andy.
Yeah.
From
Andy,
Toy Story.
Andy Man Club. You know,
Liam.
anyways, it's a club. It's a club
it's
where
over. I'm done.
they created it after this guy sadly passed away.
No,
And
get in the mic. Don't
Yeah,
talk to us.
you're
Yeah,
you're
in the
away
mic.
from
Sorry.
the
I'm sure they could. You know what? It doesn't matter because they're not going to be able to hear me.
They keep over here. You have to talk right here, indirect.
We can
to it.
hear it.
Oh
We
yeah,
can.
yeah. But as soon as I continue.
Okay, I'm done talking.
Yeah.
Anyways, it's just a club where it's just men. They go around and have like coffee and whatnot, just in a space, and everyone just talks to each other. It doesn't matter what problems it is. I mean, it's
Yeah,
just like
talk
a
in the
therapy.
mic.
It's just like a group.
Into
There.
It's just like a group therapy
Yeah.
session, but I mean, I've never personally been to it, but it's a big thing in Scotland and it's growing all over. I think it might even be going in England now. So
Yeah.
but that's what I mean. It's like progressing to a point where it's more socially acceptable.
Yeah.
Which I think is good, not just as like trying to get people who are already going through things, but just men in general, just talking about anything they feel like to talk about instead of building it up inside.
Yeah.
It could be relationships, it could be anything. Just talk.
Yeah. I think from my perspective of my review of it, or my opinion of it, the movie, it definitely is a movie where it tackles men masculinity for sure in some aspects, but I think it also tackles a lot of finding oneself a lot in a society that tells you how to be.
Yeah.
So a lot of their thing was like, you had to live this way, you had to do this way, you had to live that like that, and you're gonna have this kind of job at the end of it, and that's like done. Like you gotta have it, and it's and that's kind of how it has to be.
Yeah.
And a lot of these guys never really explored the opportunity they had to kind of discover what they really wanted to do and be. And then when they finally started doing the Dead Poet Society thing in the woods, they started realizing, yeah, I can have all these other aspects of my life and have all these other things that I didn't know before, and want these things that I didn't know I could get and achieve, and now I kind of want these things instead of just being the one thing people keep telling me to do. So I definitely see the male masculinity side of it. I'm one of those guys that doesn't talk about my emotions at all. Just how I am. That's how I'm wired.
Emotions, birthdays, just leave it alone.
Yeah, just put it in a box and kick it down the river.
Apologies.
Yeah. It's
yeah,
fine.
hates apologies.
I hate apologies. Yeah.
It's so hard
I'm
to
with
speak
it.
to you and it's like that, but I'm kind of understanding it now. It's okay.
You
Took
see
a little
how it
bit, but
worked?
you kind of get it.
Yeah.
You're
I
very
understand.
forgiving then.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Super forgiving.
But it's just because I think people, even if they're
They lie.
You know immediately when you did the thing you did wrong. Like, I forgave you
Yeah.
quick, and
Yeah.
it was over in my mind.
Yeah.
And then how I talked to you afterwards was like, I wasn't mad
No.
at all. I was actually super like, I felt bad for you more so.
yeah.
Yeah. So even though it was more of a thing towards me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think it's. I won't get into it.
No, say what you're gonna say.
Well, now I'm kind of forgetting where I am.
No, we were just talking about the apology thing and how I handled it or something like that. And you said it's getting easier now,
Yeah.
or you don't remember. You don't have to.
No.
Well,
Lost
I
train of
know I've
thought.
heard about apologies. Brother of mine said that he doesn't like apologies neither. He likes just changed behavior.
Oh, yeah.
So it's really the same thing.
That's exactly what I tell them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what I was
Actions
getting at.
speak louder than words.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
find it so disingenuous when you apologize to me, because it's just like, you did the action. The action's done.
Right.
It's already in stones forever. You can't unwritten what you've done. So just own it, and then just move on and don't do it again. Because if you could apologize for that and then keep apologizing for it over and over and over again, your apologies mean nothing to me. It's the fact of like actually seeing you putting that in action. That's where it all matters. So,
I like that.
and that's where I tell them all the time. And I've had several debates with people about it being like, well, like, but doesn't it matter? It's for them. It's like I don't care. It's for them. It's not. It's no
Back
offense.
to the selfish
dumb.
stuff. It's
Right.
about you.
I've
You're the
heard
one
this
who got
debate
hurt.
a million
You know.
times like the past couple of weeks.
What?
So I've heard this debate a million times the past couple of weeks.
It's not about them. It's about the person they hurt, kind of thing.
Exactly.
And it's already done. The damage is done. It's about how are you going to move past that, you know? And I'm way too forgiving for my own good, for sure. But I definitely have my like rules of like apologies. Just like, if you do it again and you do it again, don't apologize for it then ever. So, you know, that's how I see it.
No, that makes sense. I did want to circle back to the Dead Poets piece.
Oh yeah.
I thought about.
We'll go back there.
No, yeah, go back,
Sorry,
go back,
sorry.
yeah.
Yeah.
I did think about when you mentioned that tradition aspect. That I know in the beginning of the movie they were like 75% of last year's graduates, and it was only like 51 of them. So it shows how competitive getting into the school is, and how the one father has sacrificed so much for him to be there. He had even mentioned how my father, I don't come from a affluent family like some of the other students. And again, like, of course, this is just my experience going to an all-male college where, like, the expectation is for you to go on and get offers. Like, when I came out of college, I mean, I'm making, you know, to be transparent, I was making more than my mom, making more than people in my family, like professionals. You know, so I mean, that's a certain pressure. I mean, that's a privilege, you know. But that's also the expectation is that when you graduate, you are placed in a position, not just, I mean, necessarily in corporate, but you're doing something major. You know, you're not just, and I mean, again, the school, I mean, we paying. You know, you come out if you don't have no scholarship with $200,000 in debt. So that's you should. That should be the expectation. You're paying for that. But it's more so with, they didn't say we had to go corporate. We had to go entrepreneurial. We had to go to master's program. It was just success. Like, and success is subjective. So, you know, whatever that is. So, but for them to limit it to, like they said, 75% of them went to Ivory Tower, to the Ivy League, you know, Ivy League, whatever. And I envision a literal tower, because I've just now been getting hip. Booker was just talking to me about the Ivory Towers. And
pull that a little closer to you.
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah.
Booker was just talking to me about the Ivory Towers, like as a concept to the Ivy Leagues and professors that, you know, teach in those schools. And so when I think about the Ivory Towers, I literally envision a tower in my mind. And if you're telling me that 75% of us have to be on one of those floors, there can't possibly be enough space unless that tower touches heaven, when there's a whole, and I just see like a whole downtown and uptown that we could also infiltrate. So it just seemed like it's definitely it was limiting to them. And that's why when they got hold of this Dead Poet Society, they did feel seen, they did feel heard, felt free to jump up on a desk, to rip up a textbook, you know, that the school is paying for, to, you know, just be themselves. And, you know, it was also, but I thought about, when like those gentlemen who were part of that group were in the same class, were they not?
Yeah, they are.
So you wouldn't have been a part of it. Like, you just had, if you know, you know. Like, they was in the right place at the right time.
Yeah.
Like that. So, and that's also a factor into life. I mean, you know, you don't necessarily miss out. It's just not your time. And so, like, how they were moving as a unit and, like, just being together. Like, when he told the younger man who was more shy but ended up being, like, very well-spoken when he had to kind of work off the whim, and said the little poem in class that he came off is very descriptive. You know, that was because them pulling him into the group, like, we want you here, but he didn't even really want to be there. So having people that see things in you that you wouldn't otherwise see in yourself, like surrounding your associations. I mean, it reminded, like he said it's not a fraternity, but like Professor Dr. Booker is my fraternity brother. Yeah. So we're bonded in a different lens, and it reminded me of how a fraternity moves, a sense of, like, people have done it before. You study in the past, the rituals, like when they come into the, you know. So, yeah, man, I think it was a lot that, like, you were honestly, in my opinion, if you really want to digest some of it, depending on how it appeals to you, you got to watch that like 2-3 times to really get all of it.
I think so. I think it's a movie I got to rewatch a few times.
I would
actually,
definitely need to rewatch it because you guys have some crazy aspects on this. I'm like, was this a horror film?
right. But again, it just had a.
I think if I understood what it was going to be about before I watched it, that definitely would have played a factor. My fault.
You're good. And I think a lot of it too is like talking about like ripping up the paper and like getting on the desk and stuff. You're talking about that. I think just like the taste of freedom, you know, and a lot of people don't have that, you know, the freedom to do that. So when you're in such a rigid life your whole life, and then finally like someone's like, just break the rule once, just break it, just do something that's like against the grain, and
go on a green light, red light. Just go. Y'all lights different?
No.
I'm say, what?
A traffic violation.
No. And then they're like ripping out the pages and stuff like that, and it's like the first time they've ever were like told to do something. Like all the hesitation in that classroom was just like, what do you mean? And then they just ripped it out, and then the freedom they all felt after that, it's just, you could saw during the movie, the more of like freedom they got was like bigger and bigger. Like it was like ripping the papers and stepping at the desk. Then they started going out in the woods, and then they started doing all these, like, you know, they started doing all these things, like be more defiant, more all that stuff. It's just because of which I also think is a dangerous thing too. You know, I think freedom's great, and I think exploring yourself is awesome in very intervals, not going full balls to the wall with it, because if you go all the way, you might actually lose a lot of the fundamentals of who you are too, because freedom's great, but at what cost is freedom? You know? So I think that's something people have to think about too, because I think it shows a lot in that movie where that could take it, you know?
Yeah.
And it could really ruin someone's life if, you know, they take it way, way too far and ruin everything else. But I don't know. It gets its up into interpretation, really.
No doubt.
So,
yeah, I didn't know anything about the movie prior to. Like, also, I was definitely just coming in. But of course, like the first scene, I see a school of all males. So I mean, you really just got to find some type of similarity, and just run with it, like whatever resonates with you. I mean, that's everything. I mean, it was art, so music, you know.
I also picked it because of Robin Williams.
Love him.
He's
I
still,
love-
did he just
Love
pass?
him.
He passed.
He
right?
passed a
Yeah,
little
yeah.
bit
10 years ago.
While
It was
ago.
10?
Yeah, it was a while ago.
You're like talking
about
about like last week?
I didn't think it was alive, but I didn't want to kill him.
yeah, he
Yeah.
killed himself in 2014.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
Isn't that
yeah.
circular?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That probably wasn't.
No, he was a comedic his whole life and all that stuff. He struggled with a lot of substance abuse and everything, and his way of avoiding it was exercise.
Okay.
So he would always work out and like run on bikes and stuff like that, but he got older. So he couldn't keep up with it anymore. So as he got older, he couldn't keep up with like certain physical activities, and then like sadly, like he just took his own life because he just got too sad.
You know how old he was?
60 something. He was born in 1951 and he died in 2014. So if anyone's smart enough, they can do the math. I think he's 60,
49,
65,
50.
I think.
Yeah, 60. Yeah, 60. Yeah.
65? Was I smart enough?
Yeah, man.
You were smart enough. Good
That's
job.
good.
See, this old ticker still works up here.
Definitely does too. Definitely does.
All right. The last thing we're gonna do is give a rating 1 through 10 of what you think of the movie. You know, I know you haven't finished it. I know you're gonna have to rewatch it.
I definitely need to.
So your things are gonna be definitely a little.
You got to see it as a Andy's man's what is it?
Handyman.
Yeah, Andy man.
Andy man.
Yeah.
A handyman story.
Handyman story.
Yeah.
You got to see it as an Andy man story.
So
Yeah,
we do
that's
this.
true.
We do this at the end of every movie review. We give 1 through 10 thing. You can do like a 6.1, a 6 point, like whatever, a 3.2. Like you can do like just points in it. You don't have to. I never give a 10 because I think you never give something a 10 because why don't you see something that's better than a 10? But people can give 10s. I don't care. That's up to you. So
Do you always do movie reviews like
every episode? Yeah,
Okay, that's dope. You watch a lot of movies.
I watch a lot of movies.
Okay, well, I'll go
this is-
first.
Yeah, all these movies I gotta watch.
Oh wow.
All over.
That's
all
dope. It's a nice
different
component, though.
genres. There's like 70 something here, and I'm always adding more.
You actually
So-
got romance on there. That's surprising.
Oh.
What's so
Oh,
surprising?
yeah, what? Talk about it.
Tell me how you feel.
Yes, you just did. You're not romantic at all.
No. A lot of men
That's why you
don't
pay
watch
for dinner.
romance
That is why you
movies.
paid for dinner.
That was a joke.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't.
Just tell me how you feel. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay.
Well, it's a 0 out of 10 for a horror film.
Okay,
I
great.
agree.
Horror film.
Now that after listening to you guys talk about it, and obviously watching it earlier today, I'd probably give it like a 7.5.
7.5.
Yeah.
Because I think I would agree with everything you guys have said about it. Like it does really. I can't think of the word. Portray everything.
Yeah, we said yeah.
Pretty well. So
Mhm.
yeah.
Daryl, do you want to go to you or do you want to go to Savannah first?
I don't mind. Yeah,
Okay, here.
keep it in line.
Mhm.
I'll say a 6.7.
6.7.
Yeah.
Can I ask such a low score?
You're still 30 minutes behind.
I am. Yeah, I am. And I'll just say it's. I don't know. The experience was still, from what I've seen,
Yeah.
it's more to manhood than what they displayed. Okay, just I'm envisioning like my younger brother. I have a 15-year-old brother, and Because weren't they in like high school or what was that considered?
I think it was
That was like freshman year, no?
high school, and I think it was
It's a
their
prep school, so it's like junior, senior year.
yeah.
Oh, it has to be junior, senior year?
That's like it's usually
The
later.
fact
high
that they're
school.
doing English and chemistry.
because they're going because
Yeah.
they're about to go to college to
Yeah.
become like doctors and stuff.
Prep
So
school is usually later high school, like before college, right before college.
But so you've already graduated high school? And now you're going into like...
no, this
No,
is
it's
this is
like
like
junior,
this
senior
this
year.
is like your
This is,
junior
yeah,
senior
junior,
high school
senior
you're
high
doing at
school,
this
yeah.
place. Yeah.
Okay, well, I guess that, I mean...
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I it's just more so
Mm-hmm.
like the emotional maturity.
Mm-hmm.
It just seemed very limited to the boy experience
Yeah.
where, you know, we talking about girls.
Mm-hmm.
And that was also, which I get, like, because it's real.
It's a man's movie.
Like, it is. It definitely, like, he even mentioned it, it woos women.
Yeah.
Which your word just can. Like,
Yeah.
I will say, you know, ever since I've started claiming this poet thing, my messages is a little different. It always got to hit different. You know? But I just feel like they could have done a little bit more with expressing what all young boys go through and just kind of diving into that a little bit more.
Yeah.
And I even think about the concept of a gentleman who, dang, that's crazy for him. He who killed himself was the same gentleman who didn't come from an affluent area. So, like,
Also, the guy that brought all those guys together and stuff like that. You have to see the ending. It's kind of crazy. Yeah.
the professor? The teacher?
No, Neil. He was the one that brought the
Right. Okay. Yeah. He had the vision for it all.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's on. Yeah, I didn't. Which I get. I mean, it's realistic or it's cinematic, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that there could have been a few more elements with where the movie was heading.
Well, he fulfilled the club.
He did.
That poet.
You did.
Oh, snap! Oh, snap!
Oh my
I was
god!
not expecting that one. That was great.
Oh
That was
my
creative.
god!
man. I like that. I don't, but
No.
like, that was nice. That's it. Yeah, I'm done talking.
Savannah. Moving on. Savannah.
Dead poet.
Oh god. I'd give it a 7.
It's 7.
Yeah. I've always loved this movie. I grew up watching it. Love it. I didn't realize the true impact of it until later. And but with you saying that there was more that could have been said, I still think it's very relatable and people can really get touched by a lot of it. The teaching aspect, the being as a student, the expressions, trying to break from what your parents want, what society wants from you. There's so much in that people can relate to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
It's
definitely
very
agree.
important.
I gave it a
Oh,
what?
excuse me, I'm sorry.
No, I gave it a 7.9.
Okay, you did
Oh.
7.5, right? Okay.
Yeah.
I gave it 7.9. I think if you're a young man in high school or in college, I think you should watch this movie. I think it definitely, if you're definitely struggling with figuring out who you are and you want to kind of get kind of an inspiration for something like that, and I think you should watch the movie for sure. I also think that people that want to see kind of a male's perspective on sort of like not hardship of life, but hardship of like what they're going through in a mindset of that age group. I think they portrayed that really well with the unknowing and like the wanting to be something, but their parents are like forcing them to not be.
No doubt.
So I think that is something that people should be mindful when watching this movie, and it's sad. It's a
Very
sad
sad.
movie. So I think that people should watch the movie with the mindset that has a lot of inspirational stuff, but it's realistic too. A lot of it too. But yeah. So yeah, this has been Lounging Around with your host Liam Saranich. Thank you, Andrew, for coming on.
Sorry, I was playing around with mine. It's been a pleasure. First podcast. I think it went well. But, I mean, maybe I should watch movies. More of an in-depth analysis.
Well,
like
the
you
next
guys.
movie I want to watch with the next time you come on, the next movie I want to watch with you is No Country for Old Men.
Okay, and then you have to tell. Let me read what it's about first.
That's fine.
So I don't think
Get
it's
him a
like.
genre first.
Yeah.
I don't think it's like a Lego movie or something this
No.
time.
Thank you, Daryle, for coming on. Hope to have you on again as well.
Most definitely will be here. Yeah.
And thank you, Savannah. Hope to have you on here as well.
Of course. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you and good night.
Good night.
Alright then, mate. You're listening to the Lounge Around podcast. Stick around for more.